Hey, Dan Baldwin here, the CEO Tech Whisperer, and it's Monday morning after a really weird Friday where we had blue screens of death everywhere. So my job as the CEO Tech Whisperer is to whisper into the ears of the CEOs that information they need to know about their tech because Monday, hey, you gave those IT people all Friday to figure out what the heck was that all about, and now it's time to figure out how do we not do that again. So what I've created for the CEO is two little things, an email blast to send you out and say, hey, this is kind of the bottom line. And then here is our CEO Tech Check. We're launching a CEO Tech Check. It's a weekly email newsletter that gives the CEO just a bunch of ideas that they might want to be thinking about. Back about a million years ago, I was an officer in the Navy, and as a junior officer, one of our number one jobs is to make sure that the ship never sinks. And the way the ship never sinks is all the enlisted folk, they do the periodic maintenance on this, that, and the other thing. And so to make sure that the ship wasn't going to sink, it was important for the officers to get out there once a week, pull out one of the planned maintenances that the enlisted folks did, make sure that it was all done. In today's world, the CEO is leading by example, especially when it comes to your IT platform. You know, the IT platform is the very foundation that your business plan rests on. Okay, and so anything, if your business is going to succeed, your IT, your technology, your knowledge management foundation has to be solid. To make sure that happens, you as the CEO, you need to do that E thing in the middle of your title, execute. You got to do something E-wise and go talk to your other C-level people. Make sure they know that you are serious about your tech platform and make sure your IT team sees and everybody sees so they will be just as vigilant as you. How do you do that? You get the CEO Tech Check once a week from us, and we tell you 52 things throughout the year. Hey, you ought to be taking a look at these things. And certainly, I'm sure your IT team is doing a wonderful job. They're telling you all about stuff that they're spending money on you may or may not understand. We're going to bring you up to speed as a CEO and say, this is what they're talking about. And oh, by the way, this is the stuff that's really cutting edge. And oh, by the way, this is why that CrowdStrike thing happened. These are the issues that are involved. And yeah, it was CrowdStrike's fault, but CrowdStrike does a pretty good job of what they do. They screwed up this one thing, but here's what it means. Number one, it was not a breach, okay? It wasn't a SolarWinds thing. It wasn't a Kaseya thing. The bad guys didn't get in. Their thing works. It works a little bit too good. You need to take a look at how did it work for you. Now, let's say you're not a CrowdStrike client. Well, is that good or is that bad? Well, I don't know. You need to have some sort of endpoint detection and response capabilities to even have EDR. And when it comes to which computers are making sure you don't have the cooties on them because you got CrowdStrike down there doing what it does, do you have something else? Do you have Sentinel-1? Do you have Microsoft? Who's watching out for the cooties? And just because you didn't get hit with this CrowdStrike incident doesn't mean that something is not going to happen to you. So use this as a free IT check. It was a test. Everybody got tested, especially if you're a CrowdStrike client. Did you pass the test? Did your IT team pass the test? Now is the time to find out. So take a look at our CEO Tech Check number one. Go through that with your IT team, whoever's in charge of your technology. Just have an open conversation and then subscribe to our CEO Tech Check so they know you as the CEO are dead serious about making sure that your technology foundation supports your business plan. I'm Dan Baldwin. I am the CEO Tech Whisperer. If you want to subscribe to our weekly CEO Tech Check, just go to ceotech.org. We are part of a nonprofit organization. Our job is to teach technology buyers how to buy the right technology for their employers or their contractors. And so if you have someone who's trying to learn how to be a tech buyer for your company so they can be your CEO Tech Whisperer, you send them to ceotech.org, get them all signed up. We don't charge a lot of money. This is a nonprofit. We're just trying to make sure people have good jobs. And being a tech buyer is a great job. Being a tech consultant is a great job. Being a CEO tech whisperer is a great job. We want to teach them how to do it right. Make sure they have all the cutting edge information that they need to keep your business afloat and happy and ahead of your competitors. I'm Dan Baldwin, the CEO Tech Whisperer. Thanks for joining, and we look forward to you subscribing send an email to subscribe at ceotech.org. Thanks a lot.